or Home Depot or wherever you're buying these tiles. 23. I may have to see, since how we're doing on time, some of these last ones are, I actually kind of think are semi-easier, but we'll see once we get to the geometry section. Oh, page 7 should go by really fast. 23. What point's closest to square root of 905? That should be 30. What point looks closest to 30? Would be D. 24. Square root of 126 is close to square root of 121, which is 11. Which is 25. Square root of 144 is 12. Which one has 12 shaded in? Only D. And I know that's kind of weird. I don't necessarily go over those, but don't just look up the pictures. Look at how many are shaded. And it's not dividing 144 by 2. You're saying what times itself gives me 144. 26. There are 42 kids in Kim's band class. 31 are girls. We want to find out how many are boys. This is one that lots of people miss because they wanted to do 31. Well, we're asking for how many boys there are. So subtract 31 and we get 11. So it'll be 11 over 42 equals x over 100. You're looking for how many boys out of the total. So don't get confused, and remember, it's always how many, it's whatever over total. I'll put x over total equals x over 100. And maybe I shouldn't put x twice. Maybe I should put boy or girl for whichever one you're looking for. Again, please make sure you're showing the subtraction. It's not too hard. There's 14 bottles in 84 seconds. We want to know how many in 2 minutes. Remember, this is where we're going to do bottles over seconds equals bottles over seconds. Well, guess what? This is not in seconds. We're going to have to multiply it by 60 and deal with 120. I would suggest simplifying this over here. If you can't tell, 7 goes into both. 2 over 12. And guess what? 12 goes into 120 nicely. So you can either go, okay, I want to multiply by 10 and by 10. So 2 times 10 is my answer. Or if you did cross products, you would do 2 times 120 equals 12 times b, divide both sides by 12. 12 goes into 120 10 times, and initially you're still doing the same thing whether you do the shortcut, the alternative method, or whether you do cross products. And it's not necessarily B. It's actually, oh, it is B. That was great. I used B for bottles. 28. Oh, that was 28. I skipped 26. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. This was really 27. I'm sorry. This is 28. So I'm going back to do 26. Maybe you noticed. Sorry. Square root of 154. We've got the square root of 169, which is 13, and 144, which is 12. And let's say you can't remember what 13 squared is for the life of you. It doesn't matter as long as you remember 12 is the one below. So it's between 12 and 13, which is B. And sorry, now we're really to 29. This is going to be math over science equals math over science. Remember, you have to have the same thing on both sides. And the reason I put math first is because that's listed first. It says the ratio of math to science is 5 to 4. So it'll be 5 to 4. He spends 40 minutes on math, so the 40 goes in the numerator, which means north. You can either do cross products or alternative. I don't care. I'll do both just to refresh your memory again, since I skipped one and probably confused you. So you could do 5 times s equals 40 times 4. Divide by 5. 5 goes into 48 times. And equals 32. Remember to always try to simplify first before you do cross products or alternative. So this one times 8 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Hopefully you're doing pretty well. If you're not, you need to study this. And again, I'd recommend, I'm sorry since I'm limited on copies, print it from the internet. Go to my website and click on the OCCT and print it. And I also have the answer key, but try it several times. Because if you're not doing well in this, odds are you still need to study some more. And I want you to do well next week. You should be able to do not well next week. And you should not have to be in remedial math next year. All right, she landscaped 1/4 of her garden. What is this as a percent? We divide 1 by 4. 2, get 25, which is 25%. Remember, you move it over twice. There's no 0.25 anyways for you to be worried about. 31. And I'm actually on 31. This is the several steps. We're going to do the first step is finding our total. We'll do 1 times, estimate that to be 200. I mean, why not? 2 times 150. 1 times 100. 200, 300, 100. Add those together. Step 2. 600. Notice if you didn't do 2 times 150, you will not get the correct answer. So step 3 is taking the difference of the discount and the percent. Remember, the discount, you get to subtract it. Isn't that great? It's negative. You get to subtract it from your total. The tax, bummer, you have to add. And it's 9. That'll be negative. Change it to a decimal. We're going to multiply it times this one. So step 4 is multiplying it times 4. And since it's negative, we get to subtract. So step 5 is doing 600 minus 54. And remember, we estimated, so you're going to take the one closest. So there's no 546. Well, only one of those is close. Okay, 32.